the American civil rights activist and philosopher Cornel West says justice is what love looks like in public. And so what I wrote is that neoliberalism is actually what lovelessness looks like in public, and that now, after 4 decades of these policies, but the reason why I say the book came out on June 12th is that just 1 week later was the Grenfell Tower fire, and I feel like this catastrophe, right, this crime really, in so many ways, is the ultimate symbol of that lovelessness as policy, of that neglect, of that systematic neglect and systematic discrimination, but also of that hollowness that you're asking about, right? Because of this extraordinary cruelty of this investment in image, like the investment in the aesthetic, in such sharp contrast to the divestment of the inside, of the interior, right?
How can I do a fire in the booth when I'm trying just to maintain? And since June, don't hear the word fire in the same way. Heard screams, splutters, and I'm gasping for air. That's not bars in a booth, it's so hard to compare. If I use fire as a metaphor, does that disrespect the people that are never more? How does that bomb sound to those that bled in war? That we never saw. Remember when they settled scores with metal swords like Skeletor? Chinese made gunpowder, Nobel invented dynamite. They say the guilt in his mind compelled him to design the prize. We know what Einstein's mind was like. How many geniuses we never knew that were deprived of life. I can't philosophize on horrifying flames. We don't have to apologize or qualify our pain. To Grenfellize our loved ones of the colonizer's name. Should we let the corporate media lobotomize our brains? You are beautiful. No matter how this life disfigures you, you're beautiful. Even if that image you emulate isn't you. I don't know if history is linear or cyclical, but no, I'm ridiculed for making invisibles visible. That's why Plato said banish poets from the Republic, cause they know that we can shake the social system and disrupt it. The land of liberty, they tell us leave it or lump it. When Trump comes to the country, we hope he chokes on his crumpet before we sink in the ocean. Consider this as an omen. Nature's blessings are ours just cause we think that we own them. Never think that you're broken or think that you're no one. Remember, a rope is strong because of strings interwoven.
When love dies, when love dies, when love dies, so neoliberal. When love dies, when love dies, when love dies, so neoliberal. Would they love you more if you mock the people that you're from? Self-orientalize and believe that you belong. Overcompensate and propagate the image of the imbecile, not uninvolved even though you're further from the killing field. Solace in the fact there's always cracks in the monolith, practically lobbing bricks like Asterix and Obelix. Distracted with gossip is twisted news and interlude. To adverse, no hidden clues to listen to is pitiful. Rosa Luxemburg gave us the simple truth. You won't feel your chains till the day you begin to move. He photographed the corpse and they flung him in the cage. Those that signed off on the cladding are still receiving their wage. Helicopters hover close, pictures of the front page. Tried to speak, all I really felt deep was numb rage. How could they see this pain at such a young age? Leaning out the window screaming for help, but none came. If it bleeds, it leads. The trauma tourists, they gravitate. Shock doctrine in effect, disaster capitalists salivate. Privatization, deregulation and austerity. 0-hour contracts, exploitation and precarity. Adults didn't make it, children to be. Save pennies on the block, drop 20 million on the opera. We see through your cold plans, your program is done. We don't want a prime minister that holds hands with Trump. We don't want DJs doing shows on military compounds. Can't trivialize fire or hear any more bomb sounds. How can I smile when I know the remains are still not found? And echoing in my mind is exactly how the sobs sound. When love dies, when love dies, when love dies, so neoliberal. When love dies, when love dies, when love dies, so neoliberal.
They say we're criminals for syllables and stanzas when they subsidize the killers, tools, the pillagers and bankers. Who are the engines of history? People like me and you who got massacred for the right to vote. Peter Lew, it was Imagineers. The poets and the artists, the miners told puddle martyrs, William Cuffy and the chartists. Rebel and resist, even through something small. Create windows with words and mirrors where once were walls. Manure contributes to the beauty of a rose. Why can't we accept our pain as something that helps us grow? They wonder why songs that make you cry are more moving, cause crying's the only thing that we were born doing. They tell us tea is tradition to the English. When I look around this island, not a tea plantation in it. Earl Grey gave 20 million to the slave traders. Multipolar world, now the Indians are space raiders. Freedom to be even or merely alienate labor. Freedom for fossil fuels to desecrate and invade nature. Albert was an immigrant, Philip was an immigrant. Were the Celts, Normans and the Anglo-Saxons English then? The words sugar, cotton and rice come from Arabic. Now we import democracy to civilize the Saracens. Analyzing planets when this backwater was wilderness. Seems we're still obsessed with immortality like Gilgamesh. Pessimism of intellect, optimism of will. Wear the skin of their victims, a syndrome Buffalo Bill. In times of permanent war, there's always someone to kill. But when life and death are virtual, almost nothing is real.
When love dies, when love dies, when love dies, so neoliberal. When love dies, when love dies, when love dies, so neoliberal. Neoliberalism kills people, it kills people. Neoliberalism kills people, real people. Neoliberalism kills people, it kills people. Neoliberalism kills people, it kills people. Neoliberalism kills people, real people. Neoliberalism kills people, it kills people. Neoliberalism kills people, it kills people. Neoliberalism kills people, real people. Neoliberalism kills people, it kills people. Neoliberalism kills people, it kills people. Neoliberalism kills people, real people. Neoliberalism kills people, it kills people. Neoliberalism kills people, it kills people. Neoliberalism kills people, real people. Neoliberalism kills people, it kills people.